Welcome to this look at a familiar map ported over to FS22 with me, MrSealyp. So GOLDCREST Valley returns for another iteration. This is GOLDCREST Valley 22. This is by Celobuki. It is 140.18 megabytes to download. Now, I've got a lot of hours on this from when it originally released, FS17. It was the start map. And wow, yeah, lots of hours on it. And it's one of those maps, again, I always say it, when a map gets refreshed, updated, ported over from a previous version, has enough changed to make it feel refreshed and new, but also is there enough left behind that there's that feeling of familiarity and, you know, nostalgia. I have to say, on the quick whiz round I've done to prep for this, I think it's nailed it. Just the yard here, which is where we're starting, it feels, I know this is a weird thing to say, it feels like it's mature, like it's grown up, you know, like when it originally came out, it was in its infancy and it was a new farm, and you're coming back, there's much bigger trees all over the place, and it just feels more, I don't know, kind of lived in, I think is the best way of putting it. If we go to the map, just here, nothing much has changed on the map, to be fair, apart from the train. The train system on here originally was two loops. One would go around this side, and in the middle here, you had the joining part, and then the loop would go around this side. Well, that's changed now. You've got the train that comes in at the side, comes round, does a loop round, and goes back out again. That goes out to Elm Creek and comes back from Elm Creek. So if you get any sell contracts that say you need to sell to Elm Creek, it's on the train and that's where it goes out to. So that's changed quite dramatically. A few bits of the landscape have. I'm pleased to say some of the features have stayed true to the original. Places like Right Agri Businesses, Gomez Ridge, what's it called? Gomez Ridge Acres, and Mary's Farm in the corners have. But then, like I say, a few things have changed. I was interested going around the town to see how the things that you got used to being there have been altered and adjusted for the new version of the game with production changes and stuff like that. It's really cool. So what do we start with on New Farmer? We start with Field 12, Field 14, Field 15. Pretty much like you did on the original and the farm area. We do start with this area here, which has got sheep in it. And we start with this area here, which has got cows in it, which is, again, very familiar. That's where the cows were always were. The sheep were always there. On FS, was it 17? Yeah, there were pigs, because pigs were new. Or was it FS 15? Regardless. Pigs were up here, but we haven't got any pigs on this particular version. Slot count, we might as well talk about that as well. Oh no, field prices. Oh, I have to say, field prices are pretty good. 84 grand for that one. Field 19, quite a small field, 39 grand. Now, I always recall these fields in the corners, like these ones here, being like up around the millions. 428 grand? 346? I have to say, pricing of the fields isn't too bad at all. Plenty of forestry. There's little pockets of forestry dotted around the map. One down here as well, up on the hillside, which is nice. So if we come out, we might as well talk about slot count while we're here. If you come onto a new farmer, it's 1,000 slots. 1,000 slots gets you the farmhouse sleep trigger, chicken pen is here, and we've got a workshop trigger just there. If you come onto here on Farm Manager will start from scratch, the slot count is 790. You don't start with any of the start buildings, you don't start with the cow pen, you don't start with the sheep pen, you don't have any vehicles or machinery. So the next three pictures will be this, the cow pen, the sheep pen area, is what it will look like on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch. So as you can see, it's not like on some maps where the pens are still there, and then when you buy the land on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, you then own them and can use them. They're just not there. So if you want to then put your own ones down, your own versions, you can. Talking of those, the map maker has put a few mods in. If we go into our build mode and look at sheds, go along to the end, there's a shed on the end that's been added in, a small garage. If we go to our silos and go to the end, we've got a farm silo, 5 million litres, and we've got a hay loft. The silo is here at the main farm. Again, you won't have those on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch. If we go to animals, we've got animal pens added in, the one on the end there. The standard one at the same price holds 80, this one holds 150. And I think the same with the sheep, and yeah, 150, and the chickens, 150. So the £6,000 one there, or dollars, whichever you go for, that holds 30 normally will hold 150. So that's been tweaked a little bit. So there are a few modded things available. So we'll have a quick whiz round the farm. Like I say, workshop trigger just there. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know whether it's just me. It just feels more grown up, you know. I don't know. Sleep trigger just there. With a few of our start bits of machinery, which we're going to have a look at in just a minute. Chicken pen, 150 chickens, just there. The red barn, I know someone messaged me the other day saying that there's been a mistake made on the map. This is the one from Elm Creek, that's the 2-story one. It's not a mistake, it's been built in this way. This barn has just been used, so you've got a red barn effect, and it's using the ones from Elm Creek. So you can't use the basement. I think there's 2 or 3 of these dotted around. One's a sell point as well. They've just used this particular mod on the map. There's not anything been done wrong. It's not supposed to have the basement on it that I can tell. And the silo is just there, which we're going to go and check in a minute because I forgot to check it. What I do like as well is everything's set out like it was on the very original version. So if you're a new player and you're new to the game and you do the tutorials, everything's in place for you to have a go at doing harvesting, to have a go at doing cultivating, to have a go, you know. I like that. We've got another tractor, I think it's up on the hill through there somewhere. Sure it was. So as far as start machinery and equipment goes, we go down to here on New Farmer. We've got John Deere 4755, John Deere 7810, and the Massey Ferguson 3670. We've got the top liner harvester, pickup, 1 Velga trailer, header, cultivator, seeder. We've only got 1 of each of those. Weight, header, trailer. Now the baling equipment, all this, the mowers, tedders, windrowers, forage, or say it says windrowers, but we've got obviously 1 of each. These are all down at the cow farm, because if you're going to be doing grass work to do either grass or hay, and then if you're going to be windrowing, baling, straw for bedding and that kind of stuff, or just collecting the forage wagon, that's all down there at the cows, which we will see later on. So that's all your start equipment, and it's kind of dotted around the hillside, which is lovely. What we're going to do is just check the silo. I did the ones on the railway line and completely forgot to check the one here at the main farm, which is very remiss of me. But again, like I say, the barn's different, the farmhouse is different, the yard feels different, it's a different silo. But yet there's all that familiarity of the little sheds and shelters being where they were. You know, I don't know, I'm liking it, I really am. I know there were issues like wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, olives, sunflower, soybean, corn, potatoes, sugar beet cut, sugar cane, seed, total mixed ration. Looks like we've got a multi-fruit silo. Oh, not completely though, to be fair. Wood chips, silage, grass, hay, straw. Oh yeah, snow, road salt, lime, pig. Yeah, pretty much stones, multi-fruit silo. There we go. That's cool. Good to know. 5 million litre multi-fruit silo, 10 grand to buy. You could dot those around the map and then use them for all different sort of stuff. Oh yeah, there you go. You can just see through the trees over the back. There's the other John Deere. So we're going to grab the pickup now. We're going to head round. The route is, it takes in everything. It's not the easiest of routes to do because it was, yeah, things are sort of spread out all over the place. But what I will say, the FS19 version of this, I think, was plagued with a few different problems. I know it kind of had a few updates. And I'm obviously for this one, production chains. It's brand new, you know. I don't know if there's going to be any issues. I hope not. There's one thing I have found, and obviously this is a day after this is released, so if anyone's been playing on it already, you've probably already found it. I'll show you when we get there. So I'm assuming it is going to get an update, but we don't know. I said we don't know. I don't know at the moment. But it is that kind of, yeah, you know, it's really nice. You kind of go to points that you think, yeah, I remember this and I remember that, and You know, the bridge is where it always was, but it's slightly different and it's tweaked, and the landscape's just a little bit different. And there was the nursery that used to be down here. We've now got what's down here? Carpentry. So we've got the carpentry down here at the bottom. We're going to kind of cover our tracks a little bit going back and forth. So carpentry's just here, which is where the nursery used to be. It was like nursery sell point. I mean, FS17, I started playing the game on FS15, and my channel was brand new. So when FS17 released, it was that kind of thing of my channel was just starting to get a bit of traction. I was kind of enjoying playing the game. I wasn't getting a lot of views and didn't really care. It was just a case of, you know, I'm just playing the game, making videos, putting them up. And people started to watch. But I just remember, because it took a while before we got anything new out, because mods were brand new on FS17. And we didn't get a modded map for quite a while, if I recall. So I remember just putting in the hours on this, because it was the map to play, you know. So, grain mill. Production change building down here with the river and a little sort of lake pond behind it. So open that map and that just there. Now we're going to head up to the first of the railroad silos. Now both of them say Grain West silo. So Grain West is, I assume, the company. So we've got two railroad silos, one here and one a bit further around towards the town. Wait for the traffic to go. Now these silos will hold all your regular grain, all your regular crop types, but they will also take grapes, olives, potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane and wood chips. Now there is a mod, was it the Auger Wagon and Lime mod? That if you installed that mod and it changed the auger wagons, it also changed the railroad silos to be able to take anything, if I recall correctly. Again, I don't want to be misremembering that, but of course I could quite possibly be. So this is the railroad silo. You can take off of the train into the silo, from the road into the silo, and you can just swap over. We've got our rent train just here. I've just clicked on it, but I'm not going to use the train. There aren't, in all honesty, there aren't any sell points on the track. It will go off to Elm Creek. You've got the railroad silo here, and you've got the railroad silo down in the town, but there aren't any other sell points on it. There is a collection point for lumber over by the Sawmill, which we'll get to and we'll have it later on. So you can rent the train from here. Just wondering now whether or not, let's just double check that, whether I clicked it correctly or not. Train is going to arrive soon. I'm going to return the rented train. We don't need to rent the train at the moment. But you can do from here, and you can do from the other one down in the town, and you can do from the lumber collection point. Now, yeah, the pigs are kind of up there on the hillside originally. So it's all those little things. You remember, I spent hours doing stuff, bringing feed to the pigs, that kind of thing. Woodlands up in the northeast corner, up there. You just go up the hill into the forest there, and I'm not going to drive to it, but you can just see through there. We've got a gas station for your refueling needs just there. If we go through, we're going to head out towards the biogas plant. Now the biogas plant is here. You don't start with it on New Farmer. And it's one of the ones, you don't buy the plot of land, you buy the biogas plant. It's 1.5 million. It's not cheap, but it is what it is. More forestry to the left there, and if we go across that road, it overlooks the farm, which is all very nice. To the biogas plant, yeah, this is where there's a couple I've got to kind of go out to and then come back again, but that's not too much of a problem. Oh, it brings back so many memories. And I think I probably said exactly the same thing when I did the tour on FS19 when it came out. But so biogas plant is just here. Pretty standard fare. Like I say, 1.5 mil. You can use it. You can sell stuff as a sell point here. You just won't get the benefit of the digestate from it. But then if you buy it, you can. From the biogas plant, I also remember spending huge amount of time doing massive silage harvests here. I remember watching a video, it might have been the squad, was it the squad? And they set up a conveyor belt line from up on the hillside, running all the way across the countryside to get here, and what they were doing was they were trying to transfer their grass and chaff into the silo. It was also the other way around, but it was hilarious, the video. This long string of them trying to set up all these conveyor belts Anyway, I digress. Down the hill, what used to be the there used to be the silo here, and this was the crossover point between the two loops of railroad. We've now got the bale sell point, so the bale sell point is just here, and then we go up the hill, just up there is where the sheep pen is, and as we've seen the picture that obviously farm management start from scratch, you don't start with it, and it's all looking a bit bare up here. The fencing is still here, but obviously that's not. So sheep pen, 150 sheep. And because you do start with this on new farm, if I go into build mode, if you don't want it here and you want to keep the other two, you can sell that one. Same thing if you want to keep the sheep, but you want to sell the cows. Because you start with it on new farmer, you can just sell the buildings if you want to, and replace them with another modded one or a different version of it if you wanted to. But I think with the fencing being as it is, it will just probably work better with the one that comes by the map maker, I would say. I'm just going to cut across the grass here. Apologies. Whoever owns it, up the hill, back across the bridge, or not back across the bridge, the sort of hydroelectric station dam thing that was here. The building's still there, but all of everything that went up the hillside, there was this big facility that went up the hillside, that's all changed as well. It's funny how you don't play on a map for such a long time. That you come back on, all those little things you remember. Now, this is where we may have a problem. I think we may get an update. I say I think. Oh, there goes the train. That's a good time, isn't it? So that point just down there is like a wood lumber yard, and if you rent the train from just there, you can load your lumber on to the train from there. But this, I'm not sure what's missing. Whether there's supposed to be a building here, maybe a platform and stuff. It seems very high. So I'm assuming there's nothing on the actual mods hub that says there's any required mods or anything like that. There's nothing I can think of that could be in its place. So that's a bit concerning. So I'm assuming it will probably get an update. Right, so from there, again, I'm not going to drive it into the sawmill. The sawmill is a pretty standard sawmill for part of the production chains, but the sawmill is there, which is where it's always been. The sawmill, I think, was it there on the FS19 version? I think it was. But the sawmill's there, reassuring. And then we go up the hill, should stop at that junction. Right in the northwest corner, we've got Wright Agri businesses. Like I said, it's nice that they're still there. I'm going to cut across, I think. We'll go up the hillside. There is a road that leads up here. Right up in the corner there, we've got a sell point, Wright Agri businesses. What I'm going to do now is go to the map, because I haven't really done that so far. So we started at the main farm here, had a look around, silo being up on the hill here. Grabbed the pickup, we went out here, out to carpentry, we then came back, grain mill, then we went out and we did the Grain West silo, the railroad silo. Fuel point was just there. We then went along the road there to the biogas plant, down to the bale cell and the sheep pen, then back up there and out here. And that's what I say, that one says wood loading train station. So I'm assuming it's the train station building that hasn't rendered in for some reason. Then the sawmill is here. And then right up in the corner there, we've got the sell point for Wright Agri businesses. We'll drive all the way out there, but it's a sell point. There's just a grate on the floor and the building that goes with it. But it's nice that it's still here. And again, I probably said the same thing on, not that the FS17 version when it came out. It's the same with any computer game, isn't it? At the time when a computer game comes out and it's the very latest graphics, it's the very latest technology, it's the very latest, game engine, whatever it is. It's cutting edge and it's, oh wow, it's amazing. But then when you go back and you think, wow, okay, that felt really cartoony or very blocky or very, this feels, and like I say, I probably said the same thing on FS19. It just feels a little bit more gritty, a little bit more, I'm sure in previous version as well, there was a sell point stuff up on the hillside just there as well. But again, if you're new to the game, if you're new to the franchise, all these things I'm talking about, the nostalgia of the map, that kind of thing, it will mean nothing to you. I totally understand that. And I really have got to stop saying it, but it's only because you kind of go around and think, oh wow, yeah, that's changed massively, because that used to be, and one of those points being the railroad used to run up across here and round on its circuit. So the building just over there, which is Maplefield Mill, was one of the sell points on the railroad. which it isn't anymore. It's kind of been, it's been removed from the railroad. On our left, as we come up, we have got the sugar mill and we've got the debris crusher. Sugar mill production chains just there, and then we've got the debris crusher just there. Maplefield mill sell point. The thing I do like about this, and I never like to like I've said about modders and map makers, I don't like to put people down. When I do map tours, you go around and you kind of know, things like this. This is quite clearly the grain mill building. Okay, the trigger's normally there for you using it and that kind of thing. But what I like is that the map maker's taken the time. They're using the new buildings, they're using the new facilities, but all the places you go to, what it says it is on the map, it says it on the building. They've taken the time to make those modifications, make those tweaks, and done it. Sometimes you go on a map and you go around and it will say on the map what the place is called, and when you go to it, it's got something Obella, or it's got something from Elm Creek, and it's just obviously they've taken the mod, they've gone, right, okay, well I'll use that there, plonked it down, but they haven't changed the name on the building itself. I like that attention to detail. I like the fact the map maker's taken the time to go away and say, yeah, that's what I'm calling it, that's what it's going to have on the building, It's a small thing, but it does make a difference, I think, personally. So, as we go over the top here, this is where it's a bit peculiar. Maybe if I put logs on the train, maybe it would have come up. But as we go over the bridge here, that's where it goes out to Elm Creek. Now, on the map, I don't know if you can see bottom left, there's 2 blue diamonds. So we've come down here, past the sawmill, done both of those here. So that one there says Elm Creek. That one there says selling wood train. Well, I drove the train through, nothing came up, and I didn't know whether or not if you had wood on the actual back of the train, whether it would come up to offer to sell it or not. I couldn't get a trigger to come up, which, sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry to an animated vehicle. Just a habit, I guess. So, into the town itself, and again, it's like being home, isn't it? Now, there used to be a diner further along, that's no longer there. I mean, the diner might be, but it's not there as a sell point. So the second of the Grain West silos is just here. Again, we can rent the train. We can load or unload from the train or onto the train as it comes past again. Well, we're getting quite lucky with the timing of the trains at this time, aren't we? And then round the back here, we have got a lime buy point just there. Perfect timing. From here, we're going to go up to the machinery store, and there's the town sell point. I think we'll take this turning first and just cut through the town a little bit. Up onto the main highway that, I say bifurcates it. I don't think it goes. Yeah, it's down the bottom third, as I say. It doesn't go right across the middle of the map. It does split it into 2, just not 2 equal parts. So we're going to cut across into here, and this is where a big change as well. You remember the buildings that always used to be along the front of here? You come and get ice cream and stuff. So it's been replaced with the buildings from FS22, which is it's right, I suppose. And it works. It looks great. With Cody's Toy Store there, I haven't come across any collectibles. I'm not saying there aren't any. It doesn't say in the mod hub there are. I haven't seen any anywhere. That's the town sell point. We've got our machinery store for buying and selling your equipment with a workshop trigger just there. The reset point for the map is here as well, so if you want to reset anything or something gets stuck, if you do reset it, it'll bring it back here to the machinery store. And then we'll head out to Gomez Ridge Acres in the southwest corner. Just up here. Now from here we're going to head across to the cow pen. I think we're going to go, yeah, I'll cut across the grass here, might as well take us straight to it. Why not? So the cow pen as well will hold 150 cows. And this is where, like I said, we've got all the rest of the equipment and machinery. So all of the stuff here for your grass work is all put in here. Cow penny, this is not one of the robotic ones. This is, I say standard, this is a modded version by the map maker, but the standard one, it just holds more cows. We've got a silage clamp just there. We'll grab the pickup again because around the back we have got every time. Don't know why I turn it off. We have got the hayloft. The map maker has modded and put in 500,000 litre capacity for the hayloft, which is just there. It's nice that stayed the same. Like I say, the sheep and the cows being where they always were, it's very reassuring. Back out into the town itself. Spinnery isn't. Is it where it was? I think it might be. I just remember the spinnery having the big, the big ball of wool on the roof. So obviously with the production change, spinnery is just there. Another gas station, just to the right of me there. And if we go this way. Yep. And then this way, we've got the dairy just straight ahead of us there. To the right, we've got the bakery, and to the left, we have the grocery mart. Again, it feels so different. The bakery, I think, is almost where the original bakery was. It just was a slightly different design. But the grocery mart, you get that kind of feeling like, you used to live in the town, you've moved away, and you've come back 10 years later, and all the buildings you remember have been knocked down, and they built a big grocery mart in its place. And it has that kind of feel, and I like that. From here, then, I think we'll cut across because I wanted to check. I think it's still there. I'm just looking at the map down the bottom left. It looks like there's still a bridge there. Yeah. There used to be all the little sort of picnic barbecue huts and stuff like that. I haven't seen one actually, but the bridge is still here, and I recall when one of the first modded ramps came out, vehicle ramps, but just ramps, putting a ramp down, spending ages trying to jump the river here. It was a perfectly good bridge here, but yeah, I don't know. Again, it's the weird things you remember, isn't it? Over there used to be an egg sell point as well. Which there is one, isn't there? There's a modded egg sell point, it's like a little tent. So if you wanted that nostalgic feel and you wanted to have it back as an egg sell point, you could maybe put the egg thing there if you wanted to. I'm going around this with a big smile on my face. Yeah. So, from there, we head to the southeast corner of the map, which is where we'll come across the Livestock Market and Mary's Farm sell point. I'm just looking down at my lists. I don't think I've missed anything. Livestock Market is just coming up on the right. Just there. And then Mary's Farm. Now, various different iterations of this. There's been points here for buying manure and slurry and stuff like that. But even on the building there, it's all still there, Mary's Farm. Just try and look, actually. I don't think there's a periphery on the map. So if I click on that, you can buy that plot, but yeah, the bits around the outside you can't. So when I said about the little building here, if you buy the plot there, maybe you could put an egg sell point just in front of it. But yeah, you can't buy around the outsides or any of the bits of land. So forestry will be confined to where the forests are, and placeables will be on fields or around fields, but it is what it is. So as we leave here and head back down towards the highway, that's the map. We've gone around pretty much everything, because as we look across there is the carpentry, which is where we kind of whizzed out to originally, back down onto the main highway, and check the traffic. If we continue a bit further along here and then take a right, we'll head back up towards the farm. Not this one. This one takes up over the hill. The next one, crossing over the river. I always remember field 19 up here being one of the first fields I bought. 16 or 19 was one of the ones. Oh, I've taken the wrong turn. I have, haven't I? It was the original one. Sorry, next one. No, so I'm too far over. It was one of these. Because it was the cheapest one. It was right by the farm. So when you had a little bit of money from selling your crops and stuff, this field here was the first field you bought because it was the only one you could really afford to get. And then back into the main farm just here. So, let's turn the engine off. Go back to here. So we went from the main store, machinery store, Gomez Ridge Acres, then out to the cow area, spinnery, fuel station, dairy, bakery, grocery mart. Then we came across there and across the bridge, round the back here, out to the livestock market and Mary's farm. Then we come back round. Oh yeah, I took that one, didn't I? I meant to take that one. Back to the farm, and that's the map. That's GOLDCREST Valley 22 by Celobuki. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.